Gordy sways. I mean, it's just got a ring to it. It's just got a ring to it.
Swayze.
Swayze. You could do anything with that name. So like Patrick Swayze. I don't know why I said Swayze. You could do anything with that name. I mean, you could be dining out for weeks on that thing. You muted yourself. You muted yourself, Gordy. You got to come back on. Hit the mic icon again.
Okay, I'm glad you know what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody's well.
Okay. I had a question. Yes,
Okay.
you asked it to begin with. How do you price your art?
Yeah, super, super easy. So, one is the mental model at the very top of this, which I think is really, really, really important to have. Okay. In your art business, in any business, you always want to ask yourself, is the decision I am about to make a reversible decision or not? Meaning, if I decide, can I change my mind back in 24 hours and totally change it back? Yes, it is. Pricing is a perfect example of that type of decision. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. You could change all your prices to $10,000 today, Gordy. Okay. Leave it like that for a week. See what sold, what didn't sell, and then the next week lower them all down to 100. It's a reversible decision. Okay. There's no magic pricing guide either, because art is in the eye of the beholder. Because I can't look at your art and then pick up my cell phone and scan it and see if it's for sale on Amazon. The thing that looks exactly like it. You can't really be like comparison shopped out of the market. And so it's a constant game of too firm, too soft, just right. And you don't stress about it. You set the prices. I like to set them a little bit higher than you think you would ordinarily, because then you always give yourself room to negotiate. Okay. Now, it's very easy to talk about pricing when we're talking about prints, because I recommend a 250% markup per on what it costs you. That's a little bit more nebulous in terms of originals, right? So what I really, really like, I mean it, is price higher than you think you're comfortable doing. And then when you get into a negotiation, a situation where someone's happy, you have room to come down, right? That part is just critically important. And if you build that into your systems thinking, I used to, earlier in my career, I used to um, do some property management, right? And I would always price the house an additional like $500 to $750 more per month, just because I wanted them to complain about one thing. And then I wanted to say, tell you what, how about I knock $750 a month off and I'll fix that thing? If I do that, will you take the lease today? And then shut up. It's powerful and it works. So I recommend you price a little bit higher, and then you can always come down. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And by the way, I've seen situations, no joke, and they talk about this in like business books and marketing books, where I can't remember what book I read it in, but it was someone in the Southwest trying to sell like that turquoise Native American jewelry, and all of it was in the case. All of it was in the case for like $250 and below. And I think it was like an intern or someone that was working part time went in and raised everything 1,000%, and all of a sudden it started selling like crazy, because the perceived value of it was so much higher, and it was a price point that just resonated. And so I say all that to say there's no golden rule. Okay, there's no golden rule. What all artists do is they sit there and they debate, and they're terrified to raise it, and they're worried about it, and they think about it, and they contemplate it, and they ask their friends. And the one thing that they don't do is actually get it in front of enough eyeballs to figure out if it'll actually sell in the first place.
Yeah.
So don't be that first example. Be that second example. Set the price. Call me if you need to. Okay. I'll tell my wife I'm on with my buddy Gordy Swayze, and we're getting some prices set.
Okay. This is my buddy Scooter down here, but you can't see him.
Yep, I've got one of those too. That's not in here
Yeah.
currently, but yeah,
So, Patrick,
yeah.
uh, that's all very good. Now, uh, I'm so new to this,
Mm-hmm.
other than painting, and
Yep.
I've done it really mostly for a hobby.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
never even really marketed things before, tried to.
Have you done a local fair show?
I've been in some art shows, yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I got first and second place in a couple of them.
But I don't mean that like a show or a fair where like you had all your pieces in a booth and you were trying to sell them.
Yeah, well, I've had them online, but and I
Mm-hmm.
built a website on your competitor there,
Mm-hmm.
WordPress.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to build a website.
No,
I
I know.
don't know these things,
Yeah, yeah,
at all.
yeah.
But I miraculously did
Mm-hmm.
and put something together. I don't know that it's all right, but it looks
Mm-hmm.
pretty good. But I have no traffic,
Yeah.
and I have no one to help me get traffic.
Yes. But
So,
you at least know that you don't have a website problem. You have a marketing problem, right?
well, I have both.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have, and that's what really interests me. Is marketing. All I really want to do is paint.
Yes. And by the
You know,
way,
I
Gordy, you and 99% of artists and photographers out there, all you want to do is create. You don't want to do any of the other stuff.
and I also want to know who was that beautiful lady in I think it's DKNY black T-shirt. She's an artist too, I gather,
Yeah.
or she's a photographer. What a lovely lady!
On this call or in one of the videos?
Yes, she was there in the video before.
Yeah. I don't
Can
know.
you
Well,
say hi to her for me?
yeah. We'll have to see if she pops up. I don't know. But just as a final, Gordy, have you sold your art? Okay. And if that piece with the horses back there is one of yours, you clearly have some skills. Have you sold your art to people not named mom, dad, brother, family, friends, sister?
Yes.
Okay.
I had a miraculous experience. I was going to move to Belize,
Mm-hmm.
and
I've been to Belize.
have you? I
Wow.
never have.
Yeah.
It's out on the island, Ambergris Key.
I know Ambergris Cay. I've been there too.
Oh,
It's
I'd love to go back.
unbelievable, Gordy. It's unbelievable. Okay.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah, well, I actually am building a house there, but I don't think I'm ever going to get to go, unfortunately. I'm going to probably have to sell it, unfortunately. But hey, there was a purpose to it all. I won't
Yeah. You won't.
belabor all that,
Okay.
but I did sell some art. They were neighbors. They were all from Iowa, around here where I live, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and in Green Valley, Arizona. And they came here and they wanted to look at my art,
Okay.
and a whole bunch of them, really nice people.
Mm-hmm.
And one lady, she bought 5 paintings, and I made $4,900.
Boom. That's how it starts, Gordy.
Boom! I was blown away.
Yeah. That's how it starts.
And I'm not anybody who pushes, to sell my art. I didn't even know what to do.
Yeah.
And the pricing was an issue, and all that.
For sure.
And
For
you
sure.
know,
Good for you though. Yeah. I think that's good validation that you have a product the market wants and you have the name to go with it. So you just need to work on the marketing. But if I were you, I would start doing some local fairs and shows. I mean, we could certainly help you. You'd have to do some marketing, obviously, but early on, you just want to know for sure that you have a product that will sell, right? If you have a product that'll sell, then you just have a marketing problem like all the rest of us. So it sounds like you have that sorted.
that's a problem too with, I think, every artist. Really, I don't care if they're up on the very top of visibility,
Yeah, yeah,
and or if they're just starting. Is that confidence in yourself? You can procrastinate like crazy over anything to not do it and get started, and then you say, "Hey, am I any good?" Well, what's that? That's relative.
yeah,
What's good to you. And so I really paint for myself.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like the Ukraine situation going on, that may motivate me in a way. It's emotional. It's a deep part of you that you're expressing, or whatever it is in your life. Those things are what motivate me. I'm not going to be a graphic artist, to paint for a product to sell to sell. They want me to do this, we
Sure.
want you to paint our tires, or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. And no, that wouldn't be me. I've got to feel it deeply inside.
Well, I think Gordy, you should see a demo, see whether or not you think we're the right fit. You'd have to get over some of the tech
I
hurdle side
did.
of it.
I did today with Chris.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and she made it very appealing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's her job. That's her job. Yeah, you have to decide for you, but it would be fun to see you on the inside because I think you've got the right attitude. And you make me laugh, so there's that.
Yeah, I want to, but you're talking about the age and all.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am 80,
yeah.
so
By the way, that's like one of the things, and I alluded to it in the earlier thing. Like, you guys never stop. Like, I've been doing 3 of these things a week essentially for a little bit before the pandemic. So I guess March was 2 years. So more than 2 years. And like, I routinely, like, you think you've got the age. One, I had someone 97 ask me a question about Facebook ads. I'm not kidding. Came on 97 years old, asking me a question about Facebook ads. I was like, what an amazing.
Wow.
I was like, what an amazing, vocation that you guys have chosen or been blessed with, or however you want to say it. Like, the fact that you have something that drives you and gives you purpose and like you enjoy and you can do for the rest of your life is insane. I mean, let me just tell you, I enjoy marketing. Okay, I'm good at it. The minute I can retire, I am done with it. All right, I am done with it. I'm going to be the beach and the umbrella drinks and everything else. I'll run a restaurant or something. But I
That's
just,
it in Belize.
yeah, in Belize, in Evergreen Sky. But I think that's one of the amazing things about this business in perspective. If you start doing the work and you do it consistently, so there's people on their call that are like in their 60s going like, look at Gordy. Like, look at Gordy, he's still charging. That's 20 years from where you are right now. That's insane. That's insane. So I think the perspective is great. But I'm spending too much time on you. I think you should sign up. We need to get you some sort of a discount. So I'd love to
Okay.
see you on the inside.
Okay, sign out here now.
Yeah, no, it's
What?
okay. I'll mute you. And I'm gonna talk to Chris for you, okay, Gordy? And everyone's saying you don't look 80, and I agree. All right, Deb, I'm gonna unmute you. And I didn't mean to skip over you, Deb. Yeah, it's Friday. So Deb asked, and you can unmute Deb because I want you to push back or see what you think about the follow up. And she asked a question I get all the time, which is, how many hours a week, okay, do I have to work on the marketing? How many hours per week, per month? And it's a total crystal ball question, meaning, what underpins the question, what formulates, yeah, okay, she doesn't have a microphone, so she can't unmute. But the reason I say it's a crystal ball question, because the premise to your question is that there is some magical formula that if I just put in X, I'll get out Y. And that same mathematical formula will work for everyone that tries it. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's a little bit different for everybody. The question there, or the best way to answer it is, it's less about how many hours a week you give and more about giving those hours consistently 52 weeks a year. Okay? 99 out of 100 artists and photographers treat the marketing portion of their business like their New Year's resolution. You sign up for the gym in January and you're going 4 days a week. We get to mid-February and you've been once because it's cold outside, right? Understand the power of consistency when you are putting in whatever you have to give initially, week in, week out. And what I inevitably end up seeing every single solitary time is, Patrick, I only have 4 hours a week to give this. Okay, give me the 4 hours a week consistently. Somewhere around month 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, some kind of a big win will happen. You get a big sale. You'll partner with an interior decorator. You'll get into an art show, whatever it is, the win for you. And then the next thing you know, instead of 4 hours a week, you're giving me 8. And I'm like, where did that extra time come from? And it came from you being an entrepreneur and a solopreneur. You have an emotional reservoir, a gas tank, like all the rest of us. When it gets filled up with wins, all of a sudden the car starts going faster. But it's all about how many hours you can give consistently in a week. You do that, it utterly, totally, and completely changes the game. So that's how I would respond to that. All right, Anya, I'm going to come to you next. So Anya is asking, how do you build a collector list? So, and I unmuted you, Anya, if you want to ask follow-up. So the true, SAT score answer is, a collector truly, okay, is only somebody that's bought one piece or more. And really, technically, like I was using Weiland in his book, for him, a collector is someone that's bought in upwards of 7+ pieces, right? But the good news is that early on, you sort of just fake it until you make it, okay? And what do I mean by that? Like, if you're working, at the coffee shop and you're a barista and you have like a little tip jar there, you know what the trick is? Put a couple of dollars into the tip jar, okay? Put a couple of dollars into the tip jar so everyone else realizes, like, oh, hey, I can use the tip jar. It looks better than if it's empty. So how you kind of trick it early on is, anyone that is on your email list, you treat like a collector. Hey, guys, just want to let you know, I'm coming out with a brand new series in a couple of weeks. It's 10 pieces. The series is entitled Such and Such. As a way to reward you guys for being on my email list and following me, you get first look at the entire series. So here it is. I'm going to send it to you. Love to hear your feedback. If you're interested in any of the pieces, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for being an email subscriber. And so you do the same, like, you know, treat them like they're staying at the Four Seasons type of activities, but you just don't have a huge collector list until they get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's
Thank you.
I know it's frustrating because everyone's just like, "Ooh, if I could just get a hold of that magical list, right?" Like, how many times do I get asked? So you guys have a huge list of collectors, and it's like, and I can just get that huge list of collectors. By the way, biggest bunch of bullshit that exists. Art, okay, at a macro. Look, if 100 pieces sell, my guess is somewhere around 85 to 90% they sell as a result of people having an emotional connection with the artist, of knowing what makes the artist move and tick and their personality and what they're interested in, what they do in their story. I mean, we all got to know Gordy for a few minutes and now everyone's interested in Gordy, right? Like, you have to make these emotional connections. And even if you had a collector list, the collectors are not going to give a damn until they get to know you anyway. So it doesn't work that way. It's frustrating. I wish there was, but there's not.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure on you. Yeah, it would be a whole lot cooler if there was, though. That's for sure. Who else, guys? Questions, comments, concerns? You guys are quiet. You guys are quiet for a Friday. Up, Susan, are you stepping up? I can't tell if she's saying yes or no. I'm gonna unmute you, Susan, because I need volunteers, and then I'm gonna pick on Tony next. Tony's like, okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, you're unmuted, but I'm having a hard time. Just talk again.
So can you hear me okay now? Because
Yeah.
I'm on my phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I cranked up the volume. You'll be all right.
Okay. I'm loving this. This is really excellent. This is not what I expected at all.
See, what were you expecting? A bunch of BS and nonsense talk, huh?
Well, yeah, you know, like, I mean, the typical
Sales pitch.
I was expecting typical sales techniques where, you know, or clickbait kind of a thing where you go in and then you're just like taking down this long, windy, wordy, waste of time road. And then, you know, for $97.99, blah, blah, blah. And this has really been an excellent presentation. And I appreciate, you know, making connections in my mind because I just actually sold my first piece of art to a non-family member, which was
boom.
Like,
that's how it starts.
Yeah. And it wasn't, you know, so like pricing it and making decisions like that, these are things I've rolled around for a long time. And I have studied with someone who I think is fairly well known in the art world in his niche. Mm-hmm. So I've been watching how he has done what he's done. He's since passed away. Mm-hmm. But the legacy that I'm working on actually a puzzle that he, you know, he's got other stuff to on the market. You know, it's not just about paintings.
No, it's not just about paintings.
Right. And so this is really interesting conversation, especially the emotional connection piece, because pretty much every week I crank out a painting. I'm a full-time nurse educator, so I have another life also. Yeah. And I have like a little Facebook following of people who know who I am as a person. And so yeah. And then the consistency piece, you know, I've dabbled around with like essential oils in what they might call the multi-level marketing world. And your message is very similar to that. And people at how many hours a week? And I agree with you completely. There's a book called The Compound Effect. I think his name is Darren Harding or something. And he's basically says you have to do it consistently. Yes. And you have to remain. And I couldn't do art if I didn't have passion for it. And
yeah, but do you think you would have got through nursing school if you didn't study every single solitary day? No chance.
No, I'm obsessive. I have like 3 professional certifications.
Yes, you would see. Like, this is the thing. We all intuitively know what the answer is. We just look for all the easy ways out, right? That don't like the easy way to think about it, like the inverse of it. And we laugh about it because like internally we have like, you know, we call it like a heuristic to judge certain things in the company. Whatever like people on my marketing team want to do least is likely the highest leverage thing that I could have them working on. And it's true. It's true. It's like the one thing nobody wants to do is the thing that will help grow the company in the biggest way. Okay, so let's live it for artists. What is the thing that all of you guys want to do the least? The business and marketing portion of the business. Well, guess what? That's where all the arbitrage here. That's where the all are. That's the whole ball game. It's the whole ball game. Otherwise, it's a hobby.
There's so much of our own emotion that we have to overcome
Yes.
in thinking about
Yes.
our art and its work.
Yes.
Yeah, and how could I accept money for this? I for a long time I've
Oh,
done
pricing
it
paralysis. Pricing
I wanna
paralysis.
give
Yeah.
yeah, it's so this is really interesting, and I look forward to hearing more about this.
Awesome.
I've been seeing your emails. You are a consistent person.
Ooh, let me
You
tell
are
you, I need to go to email. I need to go to email rehab, but at least I know that. At least I know that.
You're doing a great job, because it's consistency that really helps to make the gains.
Yes.
Good.
Indeed.
Doing a
Indeed.
great job. Thanks for letting me be on here.
Yeah, and thanks for coming, and congrats on that first sale. And now we go and get more of them. All right, Tony, let's do this. And then Dave, I might have to circle back to you for old time's sake. You know how it goes.
Okay, so my story. So for the last 30 to 40 years, I've been in IT.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 10 years in the Marine Corps, got out, got into IT,
Mm-hmm.
have done every role in information technology, all the way up to CIO, except developer
Mm-hmm.
and sales.
Mm-hmm.
I tried sales back in the 90s, hated the idea of cold calling, hated it, just absolutely couldn't deal with it. So where I'm at today is my job was a COVID casualty.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for another stream of income, and absolutely love taking pictures, wildlife, aviation, or pretty much anything else, except people. Don't want to deal with people as far as portraits and weddings and things. Had my stuff up on Fine Art America, and that was a disaster. I sold 3 pieces in a year.
Yeah.
My challenge is how do I get my stuff out there in front of people? I'm not an SEO expert. I'm not a marketing guy. I'm from the boomer generation. So getting out on Instagram and Pinterest and Etsy and all that other stuff, and even getting a Facebook following has been the challenge for me.
Yeah. Understood. The good news is that it's not as complicated as you think. There's lots of people that are in your same boat. More too, that SEO doesn't work to sell art. Complete biggest BS waste of time for artists at a macro. I mean, there's very few that do well with that. I don't even know one that does well with that. Anyway, so you don't need to do any of that, but you do need to start working on your marketing. So you sold a little bit of art to strangers, but you've never done a live show, right? Where you printed all your stuff out,
Correct.
got in a booth. So that's an important next step. We could certainly help you if you feel like you sold enough of your art to strangers. That is such like a key thing to like break through and take care of. Then it makes sense to start working on the marketing. My concern for you, though, that being that your job was a COVID casualty, get another job, because don't think that your like art sales are going to just boom take off year one and completely make up for that income.
Right.
Ain't going to happen. You gotta give some time to let this thing like slow cook and bake. You know what I mean?
Right now, I don't want to complain or whine on this channel, but an old white guy trying to get a job in today's environment is tough.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
So I'm crossing 60 at the end of the month, and it is tough when you're an older white guy trying to get employment. I've been looking for a year and a half.
But IT probably is a decent field. But I don't want to take it. I don't want to take it off the tangent.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But yeah, is the town you're in big enough for you to do a local Thayer show?
No, my town is 1.7 square miles, small, sleepy bedroom town. So I'm in the southeastern Pennsylvania, so about 45 minutes to an hour northwest of Philadelphia, about 20 minutes southeast of Reading.
Got it. So there's some towns you can drive to that aren't too far though that would have a pretty serious head.
So I mean, if you want to talk about art shows, so every year, Kutztown has a folk festival, which has a big large attendance. There's other things. There's as far as aviation photography, every year the Reading Municipal Airport has a air show for World War II aircraft. So and I go there every year. So there's opportunities. It's just a matter of how do I get started? I just don't have that skill set.
Yep. Well, I'm going to give you the skill set. Pick your favorite pieces, print them all out so you have them on inventory on hand. Get a booth at that air show, set up, and try to sell them. Done. Not any more complicated than that. That's literally all you need to do.
Okay.
Chris knows where you're at too. In your area is New Hope and Manayunk. Well, Chris is going to come on next. Yep. He'll tell you. But that's what I would do. The analogy that I give, and this is such an important one, and Susan will dovetail for, and maybe to a lesser extent even. Now I've forgotten his name, and I loved it so much. Even Gordy. I'm going to start a restaurant, and you're going to start a restaurant. We both decided our entire lives that we've wanted to be chefs. That's our dream. I go about it the wrong way. Do you know what I do? I say, okay, I'm going to write a business plan, and I'm going to go down to the bank, and I'm going to get a loan, and then I'm going to run around town, and I'm going to find a spot, and I'm going to rent all the chef's equipment and all the cooking stuff and all of that, and I'm going to get a sign, and I'm going to hire a maitre d', and I'm going to set the table, I'm going to do everything, I'm going to have a big lunch, and I'm going to go at it. And do you know what I found out at the end of that? Nobody likes my food. Nobody likes my food. And it doesn't mean I'm a crappy cook, okay? It just means I did not test whether or not what I was making is something that the market actually wanted, okay? You, on the other hand, are a better business person than me. Do you know what you did? I just opened the Word document, and I was on page 2 of my business plan. You went down to Costco, you got a rolling cart, and you cooked up Tony's Tacos. That next weekend, you rolled the cart right into an office building, okay, uninvited, and you started wafting the air up. People started coming down from all around, and they're like, okay, I'll take two. Do you know what happened? Nobody got back in line the next day. You're like, okay, I'm done with the tacos. And then you changed the sign on the cart, and it said Tony's Burgers. And you went into a different office building. And guess what? They're like, hey, Tony, that was insane. Can you come back tomorrow? Guess what? You have a business on your hand. And it didn't take you a year and a half to figure it out. You figured it out the shortest, quickest way possible, okay? And that is the story of how you make it successful in this business, full stop. So that's what I'd say.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And Fine Art America isn't going to do it. None of the marketplaces are going to do it at all. Okay, Chris, you're up.
Hi there.
Hey.
Good to be here. And if either of you guys do decide to go into the restaurants, I have a degree in that can offer you guys some good info and intel on that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Patrick, you've been a great source of information for me since back at the beginning of October, and I appreciate it.
Awesome.
And as I'm expanding and learning what's required for social media, the one thing that I have not done yet, but want to, is limited editions. And I'm really kind of curious. I've seen different information on the site, like price at $1,000 per long linear foot on it. I'm curious, like, where do you go as far as if I'm going to do a limited edition on photo A, do I still allow it to be purchased as an open edition? So I'm just kind of curious how to go about this. And the big question is, I think it's called graduated pricing.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about any of that nonsense whatsoever. You really don't. And I can see, I'm making assumptions, but I've been doing this for a long time now. I think you're overthinking. I think you're over analytical. I think you are dotting I's and crossing T's and fixing things and doing all this nonsense you don't need to do at all. Another way to say it is, you and I are shipbuilders, okay? And the boat is sitting on the edge of the water. All we have to do is just pull that line and the boat goes down into the water. And guess what? We determine at that point in time whether or not the boat floats. You're like, let me just put one coat of varnish on the deck, and then let me go downstairs and see whether the windows are going to open. And then let me figure out if all the stuff that's in the galley and what kind of chef stuff can I bring in here. None of that shit matters, okay? We got to see whether or not the boat floats. Now, there is what I like to call website best practices, okay? I find this to be very, very important, all right? And there's a reason for this, and I'm going to go into this rant, and it'll help more people, but it's very, very important. This is just maths, okay? It's just mathematics. There's no damn emotion to it, and there shouldn't be any emotion to it. On your website, you need price points under 100. On your website, you need price points 100 to 1,000. On your website, you need price points above 1,000. Well, Patrick, my original start at 5,000. Okay, then you should have a price point on your site above 50,000. The reason for this is everyone's followers, everyone's attention, everyone's anything, okay, that comes into their ecosystem falls into a socioeconomic bell curve, okay? Low socioeconomic status, lower middle class, upper middle class, high net worth individuals. It's just truth. That's what you attract. No one attracts just the poor folks. No one attracts all the high end folks, although everyone wants to. That's what you attract. So you need to have price points that blow the hair back of all those folks. You need to have an offering for all those folks. So that's how important that is. You need a combination of open editions, limited editions, and originals. Yes, if you're a photographer, the originals becomes a little bit more difficult. So you can do open editions or just open prints. You'll sell one of them, you'll sell 10 million of them, they're not limited. Limited editions, by nature, by definition, are limited. You know, in originals, if you're an original artist, like, again, photographer, it's a little bit more nebulous. I believe that every artist and photographer needs to activate merchandise. It is critically important. You want to know why? Because not everyone is ready to buy wall art right now. Not everybody is ready to buy wall art right now. Like, how many people do you know that, like, came to you and was like, "Guy, I'm dying to get some wall art right now"? Most people are not ready to buy wall art right now. Well, Patrick, I would never sell merchandise. That totally cheapens me as an artist, cheapens what I do. Okay. When's the last time you went into a museum that didn't have a gift shop? When's the last time that you were at a concert, name a band, that didn't have a merch booth? Okay, this is just mass. It works. You need to do it. You need to turn on order bumps and one-click upsells. That's nebulous. I can explain that, but I don't want to do it. I'll get into it later. You should always take commissions on your work, okay? And you should always take commissions on your work, even if you don't want to do them, because it's an incredible data point of people saying, "Hey, I really like what you do, but this is what I'm actually willing to spend my money on right now." And it'll give you ideas of directions to go in. And you need to always have samples on hand of all your work. So are you an artist or are you a photographer?
Photographer, and I've done, of those 5, I've done the last 4.
Okay.
I've sold mugs, I've sold pillows, done upsells, I've done bumps.
Oh, good.
I'm doing my lives, I'm doing my social media, so I'm trying to tick all of these boxes that you're talking about.
Good.
So that's where I'm trying to get the high end merchandise rolling, and just want to understand where some of these differentiations should lie.
Yep. And I don't want you to worry about any of that nonsense, and I want you to focus all of that energy and all that analytical thought on just marketing to more eyeballs.
All right.
If you can't ask yourself if what I'm working on right now is going to drive more eyeballs or not, you're working on the wrong thing. And understanding price per square foot and where it scales up, where it scales down, waste of your damn time right now. More eyeballs and figuring out how to do it. It could be working on your marketing. It could be doing the show somewhere. Okay. It could be asking some of these restaurant folks that they're going to take your work on the wall and let you throw a QR code on it. I don't care, but I want the art in front of more eyeballs. How much have you sold to strangers so far?
Probably 50% of it.
That's pretty good. I mean, assuming it's a decent number of pieces, then why haven't you signed up yet?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was just for signing up. I thought this was an open one.
No, it's all good. So you're already a customer.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, I'm signed up. I signed up September 30th. My site went live at the beginning of February.
Okay. Wonderful.
And all this stuff's cranking.
Oh, okay, good. So you're internal. Because I was gonna say, you said you were doing all that stuff. I was like, wow, he's really been following the techniques and advice. I'm impressed. So quick tangent. Are you running the Mother's Day sale?
Getting ready to, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm getting ready to. At the end of the month, I have a huge show that I'm doing back in Delaware, which is where I'm from. And I spent many years with a gallery back there and being an elected official. So I'm working up some big to do to really get my name back out and let people know that I'm still alive.
Yep.
Even though I travel all the time. My wife and I live 100% in our Airstream and have for 3 years now.
Wow.
So my opportunity to do specific shows in specific locations is a little bit more limited.
Yeah.
But my ability to push that out on social media gives me something that other people don't have. So that eyeball collection that you're talking about, I definitely know I need to be working on that.
Tales from the road too. Pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. You guys, I mean, you're hitting some cool spots. So I love that. But yeah, don't worry. I sometimes it happens. People pop on here. But you go to the internal ones too, right? The office hours Tuesdays, the office hours Thursdays.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to work with Luca also.
Okay. Good. We're gonna get you dialed. We'll get you dialed in.
All right.
And you're just year one in. Year one is a crazy year, right? And like, you know, all these. So Chris is obviously a customer now. You figured that out. I tell Chris the same thing I tell everyone else. First year sucks. Sucks. You have to learn all this stuff. You have to do all of this marketing and grinding and push yourself in all of these ways, but it gets easier. And with every sale you run, you get a little bit more confident, and things go a little bit smoother, and the email list grows, and you start grinding. You start grinding.
Well, you nailed it when you said that I overthink and I'm over analytical.
Yeah, good
And
time.
it's just, you know, that's something that I've found that all artists experience. It's just the way we are.
It
And
is.
it's part of something that's happened to us, whether it was some sort of trauma as a kid. And I have to say, I've done a lot of work on myself, but the launch of my site with you guys
Mhm.
was the most freeing thing ever. And for everybody else that's out there, get over yourselves, whatever it takes, internalize, sit there, think about whatever you're afraid of, because I've been afraid of a lot of stuff. But I thought about it, I breathed into it, and then I thought, okay, what's gotten me here? Like the first gentleman you were talking to, I look at those horses there. It's like,
Gordy,
come on,
yeah.
man, you have skills. You've put some good stuff together. None of us should be second guessing ourselves, but we do. It's second nature. It's just what happens.
100%.
But if we can just take that time to breathe, think about it, and then remember, hey, people want my stuff. They like it. I just have to get in front of more people. And that's what you guys are doing for me. I've been wanting to build this site for 15 years, but I could never find the company that could do the fulfillment and the marketing. And when you guys came along,
the
I knew
emotional support, which you're also benefiting from, which is like, it has to be a combination of carrot and stick and then group support. And that can never go away because you're a solopreneur. It's lonely as all hell. It's hard. Like, you know.
And I've made up my mind that for the first 12 or 18 months, all I'm going to do is gather names.
Yep. That's
and
it.
I'm going to get out there and I'm going to talk to apartment complexes. I'm going to talk to anybody that has space. But the one you said, restaurants, I'm going to them. I'm putting QR codes on my photos.
Yes.
Putting them in their place, and I'm giving them 15%.
100%. Incentivize the waiter and waitresses too. Just go through, do the rounds. Be like, anything sells, it comes through you. Boom, no questions asked. You know.
And to say to Tony, we are our own harshest critics. I have a creative director that I hired to help me. Mm-hmm. And when we were picking up the images to put up online, I gave her 70 images, and we went through and we decided we'd narrow it down to 50. And she wound up having 3 that she said, no way, Chris. And I had 3. I said, listen, no way. So we were like, not doing it. 5 of the first 6 things that sold were the ones that we said, no way, we don't want them.
Yep.
So whatever you're all thinking out there, I'm telling you.
Yep.
Just do it.
Yep. We all think we can like outsmart the market, right? Like, you know, and there's so many different iterations of that. Like, I'll never sell the merch. Like, I'm not offering that media type, right? Like, I'm never going to do that size. Like, first of all, unless you've heard feedback directly from your potential buyers, do not think you're smarter than your customer. Your job is still to service your customers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So true.
That's exactly right. And, excuse me, the whatever it is, it's even social media. It's like, do I get on and do a live? What am I going to say? I got on and everybody was so supportive.
100%.
And like, I read Facebook, read Instagram. What time should I post? What day? Who cares? It doesn't matter, because if you figure it out, they change it.
Yep.
So we have to, we just have to do it.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. I mean, I hate the platforms as much as anyone does. Okay. And I'm supposed to be an expert at them. I hate them, but it's just a game. We're all fishermen. Okay. Right now, these platforms have the fish. And so our job is to drive the boat where the damn fish are and go fishing. It's that simple. It's not anything more than that.
Yeah. And I saw somebody post something on there about originals. What I'm looking to do for originals as a photographer is I'm starting to make friends that are painters and seeing ways that we can collaborate, and I can have them paint some of my images. And then we have an original piece and we have limited editions. And then we figure out how we're going to split the commissions. So there's ways to skin the cats and scale the fish and do all those things. But
100%.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Have you, just as a final, did you So you were pretty new when Q4 happened last time. You were just getting up to speed. Did you miss those sales, Q4 sales?
I did. I just got my numbers for Q1, which I think I did 1,800, and I only launched halfway through Q1.
Got it. So you haven't even had a Q4 yet. The other
No,
thing
but
is like the perspective of the Q4. Like you know, I've been doing this for 7 years, and I just normal marketing sale, normal marketing sale, normal marketing sale. The type head comes back, and we just do the exact same thing again. And that Q4 is just like always a great thing to have in the back of your head, because you're going to go through this Mother's Day sale, and you're going to learn some things, and you're going to get a little bit better at the email, and you're going to get a little bit more comfortable on the live, and maybe you have great Mother's Day results, and maybe you don't. I don't give a damn. After that, we're going to get into Father's Day sale. After that, we're going to get into the 4th of July, and then the Amazon Prime Day, and then it is Q4, baby, and you're going to be like, I got this. You know, I got this. I've been through these sales. I know how to do this now. So I think you're going to do great. But thanks for sharing. I appreciate you coming on.
yeah, good luck, everybody.
And I want like tales from the road, you know.
We've already started the blog. We've got four in, and we've got a little camper that we're following along on the map with us. We started in Breckenridge 6 weeks ago, and I'm in Lake Tahoe now. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool. But the way I have my sites right now is everything is preparation and getting the T's crossed and the I's dotted for Q4, because I saw what everybody else was doing last year, and I was like, man, if I was only there. But it doesn't matter.
There's always another one coming up. Yep.
And I'll be there. That's right.
There's always another one coming up. Well,
yeah.
Have fun in Tahoe, and thanks for sharing. Appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for allowing me the time.
Okay, Gordy wants to come back in. What do you got, Gordy? And people are asking to see your website if you're comfortable sharing it, Chris. You can throw it in the chat. Got to unmute, Gordy, if you want to come back on.
Unmute. Okay. I think I'm on now.
Yep, we got you.
Well, Chris gave me some real ideas here that I don't completely understand, but you mentioned it, Patrick, about using that marketing thing of other things. How do you get it? You're basically kind of doing this new kind of e-commerce thing. Is that what you're saying? That developed from the COVID thing where people stayed home and they...
No, I mean it's a combination of everything. It's sort of just been a discipline, and you know the formats have changed, but fundamentally it's just about getting people's attention, right? You know.
Yeah.
And
how do you get a company like I have to wear, from my days in sunny Vietnam and special ops and all, I have to wear these great socks.
They're stylish, though. They're stylish. I like them.
They are. I'm styling you. Yeah. These are conservative.
Yeah.
You know, compared. And there's one company I just absolutely love their socks. And I would really like to get that and attach it when I join up here, and attach companies that I really love their products. How do I get them to say, yeah, we'll give you at this price, and you get a cup, and if we get people from your site as customers, they'll pay you so much per pair of socks or whatever.
Gordy, given just your whole amiable demeanor and style, I reckon if you got anybody on the phone, the score would take care of itself. So I would just start making phone calls. I love it.
Okay, so that's how you do it. You get people, you just call up and the company.
100%. If you called that sock company and you told your story, I think it would be game over. Straight up.
Like Patrick, there is a site, you may know of her. She's internationally known. Her name's Pamela Cohey.
Okay.
And she's in Montana. And she features all her resources that she really loves to use. I thought, well, why not go out to those companies and sell art products like Gordy's Art Mart, or something like that.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I don't necessarily know about that, but I do think if I'm you, Gordy, knowing that you're 80, but the personality that you have, it would be tough for you to learn all the digital marketing. It just would. Now, you could pay someone to do all of it for you. Okay, that's option one. Option two would be to try and partner with somebody, okay, and say, hey, I've got this incredible work that I think would really, really sell, okay? Let's work out a commission structure where you sell this stuff for me, You could, again, given your personality, walk walk into a gallery and say, hey, I'm Gordy, will you sell this stuff? Okay, that's an option. I'm giving you all the options on the table. Or you could, start doing the local fair and show circuit. But most people that are in their 60s are like, how do I get to the point where I can stop doing this damn local fair and show circuit because it's killing me? So I'm cognizant of that's probably not the best bet for you.
Yeah.
I would
Right.
think the easiest bet for you, despite the fact I hate it, is the gallery relationship, right? Because you're so amiable. The next best bet, though, would be just someone that can help you do the marketing, the social media marketing, and put you on video on a regular basis. I think that would be game, set, match. So we need to get you like a marketing intern, I think, that would be willing to stick with you for a couple of years. You have any grandkids?
Yes, I do. That's a long story. And I
Yeah.
don't know
We'll
that
save
you
it.
want to
We'll
get
save
into
it. We'll
that
save
one.
it for another day. We'll save it for another day.
Okay. Yeah. So in this e-commerce, I'm going to start trying to do that. As a matter of fact, I've already started
Boom.
the sock company, and I haven't gotten an answer from them, how we can develop this relationship if they want to. But I'm going to get back to this nice lady because I bought their socks on Amazon.
There you go.
And then there was a little problem that they sent me, Amazon, I guess, sent me the wrong size. And then I said, these are great socks, but they just don't fit. And I went and wrote this highly praising these socks, and I got an email from this lady who's, I don't know what her title is, but they were thrilled with what I wrote about them. They thanked me for it. And I'd like to do that if I can attach it as part of the site in various products that I really support.
I'm sure you would probably get some free socks out of the deal too. I mean, there's no two ways about that. Once they get a hold of you, it would be game on.
That's good. I'm going to try to do that then. And then you mentioned to Chris, you mentioned Instagram, I believe that I don't have Instagram. Should I sign up for that?
Yes, I think you should, because
Yes.
you want to know why? Because me telling you any other advice is admitting defeat. Like, no, I don't care if you're 80. You got another 10 years of grinding on this. Why not, right? Why not learn it?
Go for it, man.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I love it, Gordy. I love your attitude. I think, genuinely speaking, you leveraging video, which, by the way, you're doing right now. Okay, you're on a Zoom call talking to people right now. You leveraging video is your secret sauce. So what I'm sitting here thinking in my mind is like, how am I going to help Gordy sell his art? He's great on video. We'll probably want to incorporate the dog somehow. I definitely want to incorporate the socks into every story. And then how are we going to get enough attention, enough eyeballs to actually see it? So that's literally all we need to worry about. You send me an email and let me know the sock company, and I'll reach out on your behalf and I'll see what I can do. Okay.
Okay, I'll do that.
Right.
The sub company is called Newzil.
Okay. I won't
And
remember
I
that
can
though. So
send you all the data. And the lady's name is Francesca, and she seems like a lovely lady.
Yeah. I love
And,
it. I love it, Gordy. Honestly, I love it.
yeah,
Hey.
I'm ready to go. Except I want to paint.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right. You send me that email, and I'm gonna go to work for you.
Okay, thank you
All right.
very much, Patrick. I appreciate it.
No, thank.
I'm definitely going to go with this. I'll tell you. I'll start off small.
Yep.
I'm going to get images together of some of my paintings because I have a website up there, and if you have a pen handy, I'll give it to you. It's your competitor, but they don't do anything for you. And how I ever got it
Yeah, no,
together,
I'm not worried. What is it? We all want to see it. We're emotionally invested at this point. What is the website?
www.swayzeart, SWAYZEART.studio. Now, it takes a little while to load, but it comes up on, really, I didn't put it in the right place, apparently. I don't know how to switch it. It came up on the blog page.
Is this it?
And if you do, there you go. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you can start the music on there that I loaded. Okay, these
You got
are
the
all
Jardín de la Jurita.
Yes, you can start the music and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of different things, and it's all based upon what I feel like,
Ballard Locks. Is this Panama Canal?
Yeah. If you can click on that, you can get that music going. It's great music too. I was stationed in the Air Force down in Panama.
Mm-hmm.
I had returned to the Air Force, and had been a doctor of optometry in California after I graduated there. And I went back in the Air Force, and hey, Scooter,
Hey, there's the guy.
that's him.
Yep, I think you've got some great stuff here. I think you could sell it for sure.
Oh, I hope so.
Where am I going to get that amazing music going?
Wait, here it is.
Here we go.
You click that going.
I love it.
That artist is Enrique Chia, and I found him down in Panama. They had the greatest radio station when I got down there. It was 88.5, 88.5. And they played him all day long and classical music, and they had virtually no advertisements. It was just, I had it in my exam room there, and I played it. That was a great experience down in Panama. I could tell war stories about it, let me tell you.
Yep. We've got to get you on video somehow. So, okay, Gordy, you got to, I spent too much time on you, but you got to send me an email, okay?
Okay, I got to remember to do that. You know, when you get 80, you don't remember everything.
Well, are you kidding me? I'm 42 and I remember everything. I think I'm
You're doing a great job.
I think I'm 43 and I remember everything. So, okay, you email me and I'm going to help you out, okay?
Okay, I'm going to leave then now, and I'm going to work on that before I forget.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Gordy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you, Patrick.
You too. I mean, how do you do better on a Friday than that? I feel like we peaked. Really, I do. That was classic. So, okay. Any other questions? I'm gonna have to use Gordy's music to play us out because I feel like it's only fitting, you know. On Estación 88.8 or whatever you said. Gordy, it was classic. You made my day with all that. But thanks, guys, for attending on a Friday. Totally appreciate all of you. For those that have not seen a demo, which is our test drive, it's a 1-hour Zoom session with somebody on our outreach team. They'll walk you through all the bells and whistles of what we do. Totally recommend you do that. It's a great way to understand who we are, what we do. If you just found out about us, though, don't worry about it. But Mother's Day is coming up. You saw me heating Chris about doing a sale. This whole business is about getting started. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to be in a great spot. Working on your marketing, failing miserably, doing it again and again and again until you get there. But until you start doing it consistently and putting in the time, you're just never going to get there. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I'm going to have to start playing some outro music every time now. It sounds way smoother. I'm laughing at it. All right, guys. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate y'all. Have a great weekend.